Hey, what is up everybody? Bravo D Boy here, back with another One Piece video, chapter review, I should say. And let's just dive right into it. Not really anything to talk about today. New podcast episode, I'll link down below on King KZ's channel this week. Or last one was on King KZ's channel, but yeah, definitely check that out. New one will be coming out pretty soon, probably a little bit after the official release. We'll see how that goes. But anyways, let's just dive right into this chapter because there's so many things to dissect and I don't want the video to run on too long. So let's just go ahead. First off, cover page is pretty entertaining. I love Oda likes to draw animals. He likes taking these requests. Blackbeard and the hippo brushing teeth together. It's just so funny how specific these things can get. But yeah, I don't know. It was enjoyable. It was an enjoyable cover story. So Oda likes to do this where he kind of puts us right back where the last chapter ended off, and immediately making it a little less climactic. So it seems Nami and Usopp are all right. They got that cool moment with Nami, a very good moment for all the fans and a great way to end the chapter. And then it's a very good way to make it emotional and still having it set in motion, because we see that Tama and Usopp, Tama has saved Usopp and Nami, and are taking them on the Koma Inu, Komachiyo, the Koma Inu, away from the scene. And this is kind of pissed off Page One and Ulti, who are chasing them. But then we see that Tama's samurai monkey from the mountains is holding off Page One. Obviously, it's not going to hold him up, but honestly, this makes me think, I hope, because these are like the two confirmed, like that and like Speed the horse smile, right? Are the two confirmed like Tama servants. But I really hope there's more, because I imagine it's a lot more impactful probably than your average fodder samurai. So if she had tamed like the whole mountainside, or at least that's kind of damaging to the environment, but like a lot of animals to come help her fight this war, that would be a very big help for the alliance. And that's actually pretty keystone. So like a lot of people are talking about like the addition of Tama having turning over smile users and maybe even Ulti and Page One to the alliance side. But I could see it where she's also brought in a ton of like animals that we didn't know about, and maybe even introducing some new Wano wildlife as she as we see this. So that's kind of what I'm hoping. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I think we might just get this and then we'll explore her Kibidango powers as the arc goes on, which is fine. It's just kind of a headcanon thing I want. And then, speaking of things I want, we got lots of things I want this chapter. But we got to see Yamato again in the Yamato scene, and she's blasting through all the shields of the armored core. I love that she can do like these Kanabo like air cannons. I hope they're lasers. I really hope the anime makes them lasers. Like not just like air blast, but like actual like laser beams, kind of like Zoro's sword cuts. Like the 720-pound Phoenix, that sort of thing. But yeah, she's doing those. She's taking out all the shields. And Shinobu's like encouraging her to get out of there, right? Because she wants take Momonosuke and leave. And Yamato says this is not what Oden would do. And I kind of like this because it shows that she's still taking inspiration from Oden, but she's also kind of found herself. Or I'm gonna still be saying she. I think it's a he by now, but yeah, it's a little confusing. I don't want to get into that. So many people have gotten into that. I'm gonna go with she. And Sasaki is like, oh, you're underestimating us if you think you can hold like such a crutch of defending two people and take me on. You're stupid. Like Sasaki takes personal offense to Yamato saying that she can successfully defend both of them and still win. But then we see that Franky pulls up with Hacha, and I kind of like the idea of this duo. Franky just believes Yamato right away when Yamato says, Luffy told me to protect these guys. He's just like, okay, and like this person he's never met before that looks like I mean, I guess doesn't really look like anything, so whatever. But yeah, so Franky believes her right away, and honestly, like disbelief more with Yamato would kind of make me angry, so I'm happy for that. But then we see Yamato like air cannon blast up towards like the under chin of Hacha, and that was so cool, and it pissed Sasaki off. So I really enjoyed that. And then it looks like Franky and Yamato could get a potential team up, which I'm just saying, no one predicted that. I have a feeling nobody like besides like the obvious ones like Luffy and Kaido fighting. I think a lot of these matchups are gonna be ones that hardly anybody in the fan base has ever even discussed, as much as we like to speculate about them. Then we come back to a place that I was actually really interested in seeing. We haven't seen him in probably close to, I want to say 10 chapters, maybe, where we haven't seen Law or Kid. Probably, definitely not 10, but like more than 5. We haven't seen him in the 990s at all. So that's kind of what I'm wondering is like what they've been doing. And we see Law is like taking out these guys, and it like flashes back to show that his interest in the will of D that he carries. And he's like, come on, what is this cursed fate I have going on? And he actually finds a poneglyph. It's not the red poneglyph. He says this is not a red poneglyph, it's just a normal gray poneglyph. And it flashed back to him talking about Robin and then the will of D. So really this scene didn't serve too much of a purpose because it's all just kind of a recap. Like, we already knew Law was interested in this. And we already knew all these things. We already saw, obviously it's a flashback, so we've already seen it, all the Corazon stuff. And the poneglyph is probably not going to be relevant unless it teaches us about the history of Wano. But it's not the one that they're explicitly looking for. So I think this is sort of just a scene to set up the whole idea that Law is going to be, we're going to learn something big regarding the Void Century in this one. Just like how we learned a lot about the Will of D during Dressrosa, we're going to learn about the Will of D even more in this Wano arc. And it's going to tie definitely to the history of Wano, which I think are the 2 poneglyphs that we've read have sort of like explained that. And I think the ones that he's keeping on Onigashima, because they seem to sort of have a choice of where the poneglyphs go. As far as how they move them, I don't know. But since he has sort of an idea, he can probably, these are probably the important ones, right? The ones that are on the Onigashima and not on the mainland of Wano, where the public are, or like random samurai running around. So this, I feel like this is going to come to play because like I said, everything, it kind of is like just a recap, like we don't know. So Oda is intentionally getting us in this mindset so that we know what to think when these do come up relevant. It won't be like such a, oh yeah, I kind of remember that. And instead it'll be like a whoa moment. So I think this is kind of, since it's like this, I think it's a masterful moment. And as much as I like Law, I like Kid even better, and we see him this chapter as well. He is actually further up in the tower than Luffy is. And he's going up on the 3rd floor. Luffy is close to the top of the 2nd floor. And he is intending, obviously, to go to Kaido. We all knew this. Everybody knew this. And pretty much, he's just, him and Killer are just kind of like busting through gifters. Which is pretty much what everybody else is doing. That's what Luffy's been doing. So you see a sort of similarity there, except Kid's ahead of them. Not pushing an agenda there, but Kid's ahead of them. And so that is exciting. Like, even though there's not really any relevance to the Kid part, it's nice to see him again. It really is nice to see him again. Not tying to anything, really only tying to the fact that they mentioned that they're going to Kaido. We cut to the roof and see Kaido. This is how the friends were predicting that like the takedown of the Scabbards would be a 1x1 every chapter thing. We just cut in. I mean, this excites me. It probably shouldn't because I enjoyed the Scabbards, but it excites me for what's to come because we see these awesome panels. First off, we just gotta talk about how cool these panels look of Kaido swinging his Kanabo in different directions, sometimes downward. We have this cool face shot of him, sometimes to the side. And we just see all the Scabbards. You see like a focus on Kinemon, but also in the distance, we see the rest of them laying down. It looks like even the Minks are down. Well, I mean, we can't really tell from this, but it looks like we got Raizo, we got Kawamatsu are down, Kinemon's down. I'm hoping we still get something from Denjiro. The Minks are probably, they could be done. And I think Doji might be down as well, which I really hope isn't the case because I have high hopes for Doji. He didn't really get to display, do it justice to his strength quite yet. But that's just how that is. And we cut back to the live floor, right? And Big Mom is like rocketing at us. It's so weird to see Big Mom moving so fast considering how freaking big she is. But she's just like flying towards it. And she claims she has intentions to go to the rooftop, which sort of shatters like my expectations. Like I thought it was gonna be a case where like maybe like a team up against Big Mom with like Marco and maybe like Zoro and Sanji, and maybe like Zoro, Marco, Drake, and Queen. All like a 3-way battle between them. But it seems that Big Mom intends to fly through there. It's like that's just like a pit stop there. Except she's not even stopping. She's passing through, and she's gonna go right back up to the hall where to the roof where everyone else is. And yeah, so doesn't look like there's much going on up there, unless Big Mom, her plan involves fighting back. It's gonna be a pretty bad surprise for what it seems. Yusa's kid's probably gonna be the first person to the roof besides Big Mom and Kaido. And I don't think he wants to meet 1v2 Big Mom and Kaido. That's just me. Or actually, I guess Killer will be there, but still, nah, that's not going too well for either of them. All the Straw Hats are shocked to see Big Mom, and that's crazy. They're not gonna fight her, so that's whatever. And then we cut back to nearing the top of the second floor with Luffy, Sanji, and Jinbei. It's nice to see them again. They're running, and all of a sudden, like, it seems like I was talking to my friend Smizzle on Discord about the chapter earlier. I haven't watched any reviews, but I do talk a little on Discord about it. It seems that, like, he said these speech bubbles seem like the flashback speech bubbles or like remembering speech bubbles. And I agree with him, but I don't think they necessarily have to be that. So like, all like the isn't nice foo. And Sanji's getting like the heart eyes and stuff, and like, it implies that there's like a woman talking either through flashback or through like I thought it was Black Maria, like through the walls somewhere, or like through like an intercom sort of system, and that's why Sanji's excited. But he took it in a sense of more like dread, because like he does have a sort of frightened idea, and he said that he thought it could be him flashing back to the Okama for some reason, and potentially Black Maria's ability like awakens this sort of idea inside of their brain, or it's just like him remembering it for some reason that we'll find out next chapter. I could totally see that, because I don't know though, because like I'm not necessarily sure if it's like since he says what is that, I don't think it's a flashback. I think it is a sound that is somewhere in the distance, and he is getting excited to see the Black Maria, the big beautiful Black Maria, and that's just how Sanji is. And that, honestly, for me personally, I don't like the implications that has, because I don't want to see another Sanji versus Khalifa. Like, really don't want to see another Sanji versus Khalifa. The only thing in the series I'll probably want to see less than that is a whole save Ace thing again with Sabo. But that's a whole video. I really don't want that. But anyways, so yeah, I think Black Maria, I hope his idea is right. I hope it's something else. Whatever it is, I hope that maybe, even if Jinbei fights Black Maria, that'll make me happy. Like, just don't make Sanji fight Black Maria. Nothing would be worse. Absolutely nothing would be worse. Yeah, that's about it for, like, just a brief recap, as far as how I think the next chapter is gonna go. So obviously, Nami and Usopp are running away, with Tama. That's definitely gonna be relevant. I don't know what direction they're running, but I could see it in a way where like maybe they return to the banquet hall, or they lead them into an environment full of animals for Tama, or just an ideal environment from the fight and turn the tables. I hope that matchup's not over, because that's such an ideal matchup to me. That's personally how I see it, where they're gonna go away, they're gonna regroup, they're gonna like discuss. They've seen sort of the abilities of Black Maria, of Ulti and Page 1, so they know like, okay, this is what they can do. This is they're stronger than us in this sense. Let's go to this sort of place, prepare these sort of green stars and weather balls, and maybe like that's kind of like how they're approaching it. And now they have Tama there, so I don't know. That's my hope for that. As far as Law, that's definitely, I've talked enough about that. Kid, I do think he's gonna get there first, and that'll be a great character moment for Kid. And then he's gonna have to swallow his pride once Luffy joins him on the top. Law is probably not gonna get on the top as soon as they do. He is definitely going to explore that Poneglyph more, and like, there's going to be some separate Will of D plotline going on for Law. Maybe Toby Rubble will meet up with him. I could see Law versus Who's Who. I could see that. Who's Who is still, he's still kind of missing in action, you know? So that could happen, and that's a pretty fun matchup to think about. Law versus Who's Who. And I think it's Who's Who, and it does it justice to both of them, I think. I think that's a good match for him. It's not like downplaying Law's abilities at all. Yeah, and then Yamato and Frankie versus Sasaki, kind of unbalanced in the favor of the Alliance's side, but maybe we could see that. I'm just worried about what's happening on the roof. I hope the scabbards aren't done. I hope at least some of the scabbards aren't done. But yeah, that about does it for my thoughts initially on this chapter. Let me know what you guys think down below, and then let me know what kind of videos you want to see in the future. And besides that, that's pretty much all I have to say. Have a great day, guys.